that I'm going to use the wood stove because I'm being a huge baby about how cold it is. We're cold, right, Pickle? We're cold. So we're going to do the wood stove. I'm kind of excited about it. I haven't had it on in like probably most of April or all of April even. So it'll be nice, and it'll be really warm in the bus instead of kind of chilly, because just the electric heat yesterday was like not quite cutting it, because I took all of my window coverings down and stuff, because the first half of April, it was literally like 80 degrees in Maryland for most of it. And I put away most of my winter clothes and was super excited about not having so much crap in the bus, because there's so much more required of the winter time. Yeah, so let's start the wood stove. So, it's cold in Maryland today. All right, day two. We're going to start the wood stove. It's cold in here, and it's the beginning of May. So, I'm being kind of a baby about it, and I'm going to make it warm in here. It might be too warm to do yoga. We'll see if I sweat myself out. We'll do hot yoga tonight. So, I went and split a couple little pieces, because you definitely want some small pieces in starting a fire. And I generally do a version of the log cabin because I like the log cabin the best. But it's really hard to do a legit log cabin in here because it's so small. I don't know if you can tell, like the opening is like the size of my hand. It's a lot bigger than a lot of wood stoves that people put in buses, because those things are tiny, tiny. But it's a World War II pup tent wood stove. My parents' neighbor gave it to me. He knows the guy that made it. And I have a really awesome story. I'll probably put it in somewhere in here. When he came over to my parents' house, I asked him about it, and he told me about it some, so that's cool. But he's a very eccentric man, and he's one of my favorite people. He kind of looks homeless. He's not. He has a house, and he has plenty of money. Don't worry about him. This is just how he chooses to live. He's one of the only people I know that walks the walk that he talks. He's pretty awesome. So, Mr. Wally, thank you for giving me my wood stove. I love it.
Okay, it was during the American occupation of Germany, right after World War II, and Colonel Frank Chamberlain brought it over here from Germany when he retired and came back from Germany, from the American occupation. And that stove was made by a German right after World War II.
How'd you get it?
And he gave it to me.
And then you gave it to me.
Well, actually, I had it in my bread truck for a while.
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, and I used it a couple of times. I drove the bread truck up into New England during the winter.
Didn't you take it to Canada?
Yeah, I took the bread truck but I took it to Canada in the summer.
Oh. But you still used
it in the winter.
Okay.
And I used it there. And
I bet it got very hot in the bread truck with that wood stove.
Yeah, when you use a wood stove in a real small place like that,
yeah,
you'll freeze 1 minute and it'll run you out the next.
Yep. All right, Zoe, leave this stuff alone. All right, let's build a fire. Try not to get ashes all over my pink pants. So I put the bigger pieces on the bottom for airflow. I put some of the paper or burning things in, and then I stack the other pieces in a row on top, the smaller pieces, and then I'll put another one on top in the middle, like that. So it's my tiny little wood stove version of a log cabin. Yeah. All right, so Then we cheat and use a lighter. I'm gonna open the fan. Okay. So, doesn't really care. So I kind of just feed it for a little bit. It sometimes smokes a decent amount now. That's just because I think my pipe needs to be clean, and according to websites and stuff, you don't have to do it as often as it seems like this one has needed to already. But normal wood stoves also have a much bigger pipe, and mine's a smaller pipe because of it being a smaller wood stove. So that definitely has something to do with it. And it is what it is. I kind of got used to the wood smoke smell, or wood stove smell, campfire smell, whatever you want to call it, this winter. There are definitely worse things to smell like. But one of my spring cleaning things I'm going to do is definitely clean the pipe out. But it requires 2 people, so I have to have someone help me. So we'll see who I can get and talk into helping me do this. So it's going now. It's mostly just the paper and stuff burning still. But the wood catches pretty fast when you have wood that small too. As long as it's dry, which it is. I have it all tucked up under the bus, so it stays dry. It looks like some of the wood's caught fire now, so that's cool. What do you think? What do you think, huh? You like the wood stove, huh? You like when it's toasty in here, don't you? Yes, you do. Shake hands. Good doing business. Yeah, the wood's definitely caught now. So that's basically it. If you use small enough wood and you use some stuff that catches fire pretty decent, and use, well, the right kind of wood too, I guess. I don't know what mine is. But generally, it'll start pretty fast. Helps that it's not super windy today. The colder it is, the longer it takes to start it. And I think it's just because I get really frustrated and want it to get warm in here fast. Because over the winter, I would get home and it would be like 35 inside the bus. And that is cold. And it would take a while to heat up. So I would get frustrated. This will take very, very short amounts of time before it's warm in here. I think when I came in today, it was 55 in here, which isn't a comfortable temperature to hang out in. But it's not the worst temperature to deal with. So yeah, so now it's just the wood going. What are you eating? Stop. So that's how we build a fire in the bus.